This module covers the highest level of documentation in the energy management system, the Charter. The Charter contains the guidelines that define general energy management systems matters. It's the document that gives everyone a uniform background to the system, allowing everyone to work to uniform rules in pursuing energy performance improvements. Let's briefly look again at the concept of an energy management system to appreciate the importance of the highest level document, the Energy Management System Charter. BusinessDictionary.com has clear definitions of each of three words: energy, management and system. There are key elements in each definition that brings out the need for documentation. Energy requires measurement. Management requires definitions, and system requires method, procedures and routines. On the previous slide, we defined system, a set of detailed methods, procedures and routines created to carry out a specific activity, perform a duty or solve a problem. All systems have inputs, outputs and feedback mechanisms. They maintain an internal consistency and coherence, called homeostasis, despite a changing external environment. They display properties that are different to the whole, called emergent properties. In the case of an energy management system, the property we're talking about is performance, and the property difference can be identified by comparing the actual property to a baseline defined by the system owner, independent of any of the individual elements. And the system has a fourth aspect. They have boundaries that are usually defined by the system owner. Systems surround us, and we're all part of larger systems. And systems stop functioning when an element is removed or changed significantly. This is the conceptual business flow of an energy management system taken from ISO 50001/2011. The system is constantly checking performance through monitoring, measurement and analysis, non-conformities, correction, corrective and preventive actions, internal audits of the system and management reviews. Management reviews also play an important role in the continual improvement process. The system owner uses the outcomes of the reviews to decide on actions for performance improvement. That system definition we just looked at can be applied to the energy management roadmap. The energy management system commences with the system owner committing to improving energy performance using a suitable system that will also enhance the organization's sustainable business development. The system owner organizes an energy review to identify performance properties and an energy baseline, leading to identification of energy conservation opportunities. After the first management review, actions with defined properties are authorized for implementation. The implementation cycle is operated using identified monitoring procedures that allow real-time management. To make a system work, you need to establish the framework for the system. The framework includes the objectives of the system, the design of the system, how the system should work and under what conditions, and procedures that show how the system is to be operated. Documentation is key. Everything from objectives to procedures must be documented if the intended system is to exist and to sustain. As we've said, the first document to be established is the Energy Management System Charter, defining the overall rules for the establishment, implementation and maintenance of the system. This is the structure for a sample Energy Management System Charter that you can use as a reference. The introduction explains the background to the document, why it was written. This allows readers to quickly orient themselves and to understand duties in the system's operation. The introduction can also include useful information such as system objectives, the purpose of the document, references made up of reference documents or material forming the Energy Management Charter, applicable regulations, standards and internal rules, listing all applicable regulations related to running the system, terms, definitions and acronyms, providing a quick reference to the reader for faster comprehension, a description of the structure of the document together with procedural documents and recorded data, the scope And boundary section can also include useful information such as a premises floor plan, a company organisation chart, and an explanation of the business year, making clear how energy management accounting is undertaken. The energy management structure and organisation section defines how the system is structured and organised in greater detail than is outlined in the scope and boundary section. Structure and organisation can include system operation principles, the configuration of the EACs, a description and overview of the Systems Operations Committee, and possibly details of the Operations Committee's organisation and its mission statement, and details of the roles and responsibilities of the system owner, the energy manager, and the members of the Operations Committee. Guidelines and provisions defines everything that is needed to operate the system effectively while pursuing continual improvement. The guidelines and provisions purposely cohere strictly to ISO 50001 Energy Management Systems requirements with guidance for use. That allows easier reference and compliance with the standard. The Energy Management Systems Operational Management Guidelines supplements tidies things up by defining any supplemental requirements needed in system operation that are not contained within the requirements of ISO 50001. In summary, energy management system charters manage the invisible movements of energy by establishing a rolling cycle of plan, implement, evaluate, take further improvement action. That should ensure the energy movements are managed and no more energy is used than is adequate. To achieve energy performance improvement targets, the document defines guidelines and provisions that help the workforce make competent judgments while aggressively pursuing best performance. Your role as energy manager is to orchestrate full participation in the system. You do not run the energy management system on behalf of the organisation. Energy management requires the participation of the entire workforce, including top management. Therefore, the charter should be designed for all levels of the workforce, including top management, if it is to be fully effective. The charter must not be kept away from the workforce and used only by a select band of energy management experts, nor should top management's involvement with the charter be limited to approval times. This slide sets out the layers of documentation that combine an effective and efficient energy management system. Below the charter are groups of management documents, groups of procedure documents, and a group of records. The charter orchestrates the flow of the entire energy management system. The charter's general guidelines and provisions affect the overall operation of the system. Once you have an effective charter, your existing guidelines, company rules and regulations, procedures and records can be integrated with documentation for the overall energy management system.